Hi everyone, Nana here. Ready to read your bedtime story, and tonight it's called The Whispering Pool. So if you're sitting nice and comfortably, then I'll begin. Once upon a time there was a boy called George who badly wanted to wish a wish that would come true. He knew what he wanted to wish. He meant to wish that he could have 100 wishes. Then he really could have a good time. Get presents for everyone and wish everything he ever wanted for himself. But somehow he could never find out how to make a wish come true. He tried all sorts of things and wished hundreds of wishes, but they never came true. And then one day he met Bron the brownie. He was walking down a path at Cuckoo Wood, one that he'd never been down before, and he suddenly saw Bron coming towards him. He stopped in surprise, for he knew quite well that the little man was real. A little man was a real live brownie, the kind he had often seen in books. "I say," said George. "I say, are you a brownie?" "You are, aren't you?" "Of course," said Bron, stopping. "What do you want? Anything I can do to help you?" "Oh, yes," said George. "I want to wish a wish that will come true. Can you give me a wish like that?" "No," said Bron, "but I'll tell you where you can get one. You must go to the Whispering Pool in the very heart of the wood, and if you can hear what it says and do what you're told, you can get a wish." "How can I?" said George, feeling very excited. "Well, if you do what the Whispering Pool tells you and dip your hand in, drink from it at the end, you will find that whatever you wish your wish will come true at once," said Bron. "I've often got wishes there. Look, see that path? Go straight down it, turn left by the oak tree and turn right by the path of primroses and go to the end. You'll find the Whispering Pool there." Off went George, feeling so excited that his knees shook. He turned left at the 3 oak trees, right by the primroses, and then went straight on. And then he came to the Whispering Pool. It was a strange place. A little brown pool set in a shallow hole in a rock. It shook and shivered and wrinkled and bubbled all the time. "It's magic, there's no doubt about that," said George, looking deep into it. He saw his own face looking back at him, made crooked by the ripples, and he listened hard. And he heard a bubbling whisper coming from the strange little pool. "Stir me as many times as there are hours in the day and night. Stir me." How many times did George stir the pool? He took a stick and carefully stirred the brown waters round and round 24 times. The pool bubbled tremendously, and the bubbles burst with funny little pops at the surface, and a green mist came from them. "It's awfully magic," thought George. "I wonder what to do next." A low sound came from the pool again, half a gurgle, half a whisper. "Blow on me and spell the word thunder 3 times. Gracious, thought George. How do I spell thunder? Yes, I think I know. So he blew on the surface of the Whispering Pool and spelt the word thunder 3 times. THUNDER. And when he'd spelt it out 3 times, the Whispering Pool blew up into a kind of little storm, and a low thundery sound came from it. It was very peculiar. Then its surface calmed down and it became smooth, that once more George could see his face. "What next?" said George to the pool. "Tell me, quick." "Go to the oak tree and bring back the fruit it bears," whispered the pool suddenly. "Put it into me and stir till it dissolved." "The fruit of the oak tree? What's that?" thought George. He ran to an oak tree and looked up at it. The tree was bare, for it was winter time, but on it grew little round knobs of brown. "Oak apples," thought George. "That must be the fruit." He picked one and was just turning back to the pool when it stopped. He remembered a nature lesson he had had that autumn about the fruits of different trees. "The oak apple isn't the real fruit of the oak tree," said George out loud. "It's the acorn that's the fruit. Goodness, I'd have spoilt the spell if I'd have dropped in an oak apple." He ran back to the tree and looked under it on the ground, and he found an acorn still in its cup. He was very pleased. He picked it up and ran back to the pool with it. He dropped it in and then stirred the little brown pool until the acorn seemed to have disappeared. "I didn't know before that acorns could melt like sugar," thought George, astonished. "This pool must be very, very magic." It was. It suddenly turned bright green and sparkled brightly, and a voice came out of it again, whispering like the trees in summer. "Now dance round me 7 times, and then drink deep." George felt so excited he could hardly dance round the rock in which the strange pool lay. 7 times 7. Now what are they? He thought, beginning to dance solemnly round the pool. "Oh dear, I wish I'd learnt my tables better. I'm supposed to know right up to 12 times, but I'm not at all sure of 7 times. 7 sevens are, oh yes, of course, they're 52. So George carefully danced around the pool 52 times, counting as loud as he went. 1, 2, 3. At the number 7, the pool changed to blue. At 14, it changed to yellow. At 21, it changed to red, and at 28, it changed to purple. And when George chanted 35, it shone golden, and at 42, it shimmered like a diamond. At 49, it turned to brilliant silver and shot silvery bubbles into the air. But when George stopped at 52, it had changed to its first brown colour and lay quite still. "Now," thought George, "now to drink it, and then I'll have a wish. I'll wish for 100 wishes, and what a time I'll have. Won't I surprise everyone?" He dipped his curved hand into the pool and lifted the brown water to his mouth and drank. It had no taste at all. "There," said George, "I've drunk from the magic pool. Now I'll wish. Well, I wish that I can have 100 wishes, and that all of them may come true." He stood for a moment, and then he wished the first of his 100 wishes. "I wish I was back home." But nothing happened at all. George was in the wood by the pool. He wasn't back at home. He wished the same wish again, and still nothing happened. It was most disappointing. And then he wished another wish. "I wish a little brown pony would appear so that I might ride home." But no pony appeared. Though George waited patiently for 10 minutes. "Something's gone wrong," said George very sadly. When he wished a whole lot of different wishes, but none of them came true, George walked home miserably. On the way home, he met Bron, the brownie. "Hello," said Bron. "Did you get your wish all right?" "No," said George, and he told him all about it. What had he done? How careful he had been? And Bron laughed. "You were all right until the last thing you had to do. 7 times 7 are 52 indeed. Why don't you learn your tables? 8-year-old, aren't you? And you don't know your 7 times table? For shame. Now you've missed a lovely wish, for you'll never find that wishing pool again." "I shall go look for it again," said George. "I'll find it one day, and by that time I'll know how to spell any word I'm asked, and I'll know all my tables, yes, even my 13 times. But George was never found that whispering pool again. They say that people can only find it once. So if you ever get a chance to come across it, be sure you know your 7 times table. Do you know what 7 times 7 are? Do you? Hope you enjoyed that. That was called the Whispering Pool. So you'd make sure you're doing all your homeschooling, all your learning, because you never know. You might come across the Whispering Pool and get a wish. Well, I love you loads, so you sleep well, and I'll see you again tomorrow. So, night-night, Ruby. Night-night, Max. Night-night, Atty. Night-night, Torben. I love you loads, and I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.